What's up, everybody? We have UFC Fight Night, Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Spivac. And it's an alright card. It's a little weird one. I feel like some of my picks can go one way and the other way or split. It's a really unpredictable card. Realistically, it's a very hard card to choose because I feel like a lot of them can go either way. But before we get into that, if you want to join my Tapology, I'll leave a link down below. You can make your picks. It'll show your picks after that. It'll keep your record also for what your picks are. I think my record's currently on there. I think I went 8-6 on the last card. Got the successful main event, and that's what I love to see. So, and also, I'd like to say thank you for 100 subscribers. I think I'm at like 115 now, so I very much appreciate it, and I'll be moving on to more goals in the future. But until then, we're going to be breaking down this card from the prelims to the main event. So first off, we have Natalia Silva versus Tereza Bleda. Silva, 13-5, 25 years of age and 65 inches of reach. Bleda, 6-0, 20 years of age and 71 inches of reach. For this one, I was a little flip-floppy on this one. I didn't know who to go with. Tereza Bleda was on the recent Contender Series, recently won against Maia, who Maia was solid on her back. She did have like a really good exchanges on the ground, was able to get her into a couple knee bars. She's able to escape it though, so it wasn't really there, but the threat of it was there. For Natalia Silva, she actually looked super impressive in her last fight against Jasmine Jasudavicius. I do think Tereza Bleda has been super, I don't want to say super impressive because she just joined, but I think she's a way better wrestler and grappler than Jasmine Jasudavicius. I think she's also stronger. She will have the reach advantage in this matchup, so I am going to go with Tereza Bleda, but I will not be surprised if Natalia Silva wins this fight. I do think this one can go either way. I think I'm just going to take the underdog for this matchup, though. Up the card, we have Fernie Garcia versus Brady Hiestand. Garcia, 10-2, 30 years of age and 67 inches of reach. Hiestand, 5-2, 23 years of age and 71 inches of reach. Hiestand just coming off like an injury, a very long time out actually, against Ricky Turcios for the TUF 29, I believe. What do you call it? The final fight, the championship, whatever you call it, the TUF championship. It was about a year and 2 months ago. So he lost a split decision victory against Ricky Turcios, and Ricky Turcios has been all right since then. But he did look pretty solidly impressive in that matchup. He has been battling a knee injury, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. He's still pretty young. He's 25 years of age. Or I'm sorry, not 25, 23 years of age. Still pretty young. I'm assuming he's making some improvements while he had some time off. So I'm going to go with Brady Hiestand. I do think he has a fighting style that shows like an unrelenting pace. Like he kind of just goes forward a lot, just keeps going, keeps taking guys down, has a good team behind him with, who is it again? Michael Chiesa and them in Washington. So he has a pretty good team around him. So does Fernie Garcia, but I do think he gets the best of Fernie Garcia. Fernie Garcia's last fight was a loss against Journey Newsome, but I do think Brady Hiestand can get it done. I think he'll mix in his takedowns and his stand-up pretty evenly in this fight, and he also does have a reach advantage in this fight of 4 inches. So I think that'll help him too in this matchup. So I'm going to go with Brady Hiestand on the scorecard. It's probably 29-28. He will be a little rusty at the beginning, but I think he'll start getting comfortable in there and start using his takedowns and his stand-up to his advantage. Up the card, we have Maria Oloveira versus Vanessa Demopoulos. Oloveira, 13-5, 25 years of age and 69 inches of reach. Demopoulos, 8-4, 34 years of age and 62 inches of reach. I am going to go with Maria Oloveira in this matchup. I do think she's going to be able to keep this standing on the feet. She does have a pretty big reach advantage of like 7 inches. And I just don't think Vanessa Demopoulos is a good enough fighter to actually battle that kind of reach advantage and to actually get Maria Oloveira on the ground. So I do think Maria Oloveira will win. Probably on the scorecards. I have no idea how this fight will probably end. It'll probably be on the scorecards, in all honesty. So yes, I'm going to go with Maria Oloveira by a decision over Vanessa Demopoulos. Up the card, we have Ricky Turcios versus Kevin Natividad. I think that's how you say it, Natividad. Turcios, 11-3, 29 years of age and 72 inches of reach. Natividad, 9-3, 29 years of age and 70 inches of reach. For this fight, I am going to go with Turcios in this one. I think he is a little bit more connected to his career than before in his last fight. His last fight was against Ayman Zahabi. In his last fight, I think he was contemplating retirement, if I believe so. I think the time frame between these two fights were pretty lengthy. It was like 7 months. From what I know before that fight, I believe he was contemplating like retirement or fighting ever again. I don't know if it was like a brain issue, like if he thought he had issues with the brain and things like that. Like he's been in wars and things like that at a pretty young age. So it's very understandable. I don't think he was too invested into his career back then, but I think after his last fight, he was super disappointed in himself. It seemed like he was not happy with his performance. So I think he will improve. I think he will be a little bit more invested in his career and won't actively throw 200 shots and land 20 of them. So I think Ricky Turcios will win this fight. So I got faith in him in this one. I hope he doesn't. Not that it really matters, but I hope he doesn't lose this one. I was going to say not to let me down, but hopefully he doesn't lose this one. Up the card, we have Miles Johns versus Vince Morales. Johns, 12-2, 28 years of age and 68 inches of reach. Morales, 11-6, 32 years of age and 68 inches of reach. They will have the same reach in this matchup. I do think Miles Johns will win this fight. I don't think Vince Morales moves enough to where he's going to be able to avoid some of those big shots from Miles Johns. And it also doesn't seem like he, what's the word? I don't think he actually, I can't think of the word. I don't think he actually, I want to say invest, but I don't think it's invest. He doesn't actually commit. So he doesn't actually commit with all of his shots. Like he'll throw a shot and then move around, back up a little bit, stay away from those counter punches. So I think Miles Johns will be able to have the power advantage in this matchup, threaten Vince Morales a little bit. In his last fight, like I don't think Vince Morales is a John Castaneda. You see Miles Johns beat a guy like Anderson Dos Santos and Kevin Natividad, you know. Those aren't big wins. He did lose to Mario Batista, which a rough one, but yeah. So I just don't think Vince Morales will be a John Castaneda in this matchup. Miles Johns is still pretty young, so he's still going to be making a little bit of improvements. His last fight was 9 months ago, so hopefully we will see those improvements. But again, Vince Morales lost to Jonathan Martinez, won against Luis Mocha, Drake Rodriguez, Chris Gutierrez lost, Benito Lopez lost. So I'm just going to go Miles Johns. I think the power will be the big advantage in this matchup, and I just don't think Vince Morales has enough to threaten Miles Johns with any of the counter punches or like the power or the movement. I just don't think Vince Morales has enough to threaten him in that matchup. So let's move on. Up the card, we have Jennifer Maia versus Maryna Moroz. I believe is how you say it. Maia, 19-9, 34 years of age and 64 inches of reach. Moroz, 11-3, 31 years of age and 67 inches of reach. We'll have a 3-inch reach advantage in this matchup. I am going to go with Jennifer Maia. I do think she's fought better opponents. For example, we have a loss to Valentina Shevchenko less than 2 years ago, win over Jessica Ai, lost to Caitlin Chukagian and Manon Fiorot. Those are some three, if you couldn't find 3 good losses in the women's, flyweight division, those are the 3 best losses you could probably have in that division. So, although like Joanne Wood isn't that great of a win, Jessica Ai is an alright win. You have Maryna Moroz losing to Carla Esparza, which is an alright loss. Angela Hill, which is iffy, you know. Sabina Mazo, 6. Marina Bueno Silva, oh my goodness, isn't a bad loss either. Maria Agapova, that's a little rough. But Jennifer Maia fought the 3 best people in that division, without a doubt. The 3 cleanest fighters, without a doubt, and kind of gave Manon Fiorot a little bit of a hard time in there. I think, obviously, Manon Fiorot won that fight, but she definitely did do solid in that fight. So I think I'm just going to go with Jennifer Maia. I think she's fought some of the best in that division. I think Maryna Moroz is working her way up. So I trust Jennifer Maia more in this matchup than I would a Maryna Moroz. Up the card, we have Zhumagulov versus Charles Johnson. Zhumagulov, 14-7, 34 years of age and 66 inches of reach. Johnson, 11-3, 31 years of age and 70 inches of reach. In this fight, I will go with Charles Johnson. I think he had some really good answers for Muhammad Mokaev's takedowns in his last bout. Looked super impressive there. Was able to not stuff all of them, but was able to work his way up. Wasn't really getting controlled. Wasn't really getting destroyed. I guess you can kind of give the control to Mokaev because he was slamming him around a little bit. But does have a win over Carlos Mota. A lot of people thought he was going to win against Cody Durden. when he did fight in the flyweight division. And Zhalgas, Zhumagulov, his last couple fights, Jeff Molina, Manel Cap, he lost to. Won against Jerome Rivera, but then lost to Amir Albazi and Halian Pava. So a couple of those opponents were pretty good opponents to lose to at least, but Halian Pava and things like that, he's working his way back down to the flyweight division. So we'll see how that goes. I do think Charles Johnson does have more power in his hands and things like that. So I do think Charles Johnson does win on the scorecards because of the power, because of the stand-up he does have, and we'll be able to not worry about the takedowns, things like that. So I will go with Charles Johnson by 29, 28, or 30-27 scorecard. Up the card, we have Jack Della Maddelena versus Danny Roberts. Maddelena, 12-2, 26 years of age and 73 inches of reach. Roberts, 18-6, 35 years of age and 74 inches of reach. For this one, I think it is pretty easy to pick. Jack Della Maddelena. He's beaten guys like Ramazan Amiv, Pete Rodriguez, who looked really good in his last fight, even though it was Mike Jackson. Absolutely destroyed him in the first round. Angelusa looked pretty good in his last fight. I believe he did beat Fletcher, if I'm remembering correctly. Danny Roberts, his last fight was the loss to Francisco Trinaldo, and that's all I need to see. Jack Della Maddelena will be able to KO Danny Roberts. I don't want to say brutally, but maybe brutally KO'd in like the second round, third round. I do see Jack Della Maddelena winning this without a doubt. So that's who I'm going with. Up the card, we have Muslim Salikhov versus Andre Fialho. Salikhov, 18-3, 38 years of age, 69.5 inches of reach. Fialho, 16-5, 28 inches, 28 years of age, 74 inches of reach. Will have a 4.5 inch reach advantage in this matchup. I am going to go with Andre Fialho. It was a little tricky thinking about this one at first, but I do think he will win this fight without a doubt. I think Salikhov throws too much spinny stuff and things like that, and Andre Fialho, with like more of a base fighting style, will be able to take out Muslim Salikhov. I think it will go to a decision. Maybe he might be able to take Salikhov out of the fight in like the second or third round. But against Jake Matthews, he actually didn't look very good. Jake Matthews made quick work of him. Destroyed him, if you want to say that. Jake Matthews with the performance of the damn year. Jake Matthews looked absolutely incredible. Looked like a top 5 fighter in that fight. Andre Fialho beat Cameron Van Camp. That's an easy fight. Miguel Beza and Michel Pereira. He was doing pretty solid in that fight. I think some people argue that he won. I don't know. But Muslim Salikhov's last fight was a knockout loss to Jingliang Li. I don't know why they can't get those. I don't know how these names work. I don't know why they mix them up so much. It's kind of annoying. But beat Francisco Trinaldo, Rizzo Zaleski. I am going to go with Andre Fialho. I do think, but I do think he does win this. I think he just does less of the ridiculous. I don't want to say ridiculous, but less of the spinny stuff. And I think he's going to be able to figure that out a little bit more, and will be able to take out Muslim Salikhov in this matchup with a maybe late TKO or a decision in this matchup. So I'm going with Andre Fialho, and if he does win, hopefully we can get him in some more events, because he was super active after his last couple wins. Like, these are months between each other, 3 months, 3 months, months. So let's hopefully we can get Andre Fialho on a win, and if he does win, he will be able to be more active, and he's a pretty interesting fighter to watch anyways. So up the card, we have Chase Sherman versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Sherman, 16-10, 33 years of age, 78 inches of reach. Acosta, 8-0, 31 years of age and 78 inches of reach. For this one, it was more, I was pretty undecided on it. Waldo Cortes-Acosta, I thought was pretty good, but he just got leg kicked in his last fight. I thought he, without a doubt, lost. I don't know. Like, I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, hold on. Didn't he lose to Jared Van Dieren? And I was like, why does he have an 8-0 record? And I realized, he got the decision for some reason. I don't know how the hell he got the decision. I'm fine with it because it was Jared Van Dieren. But, he got leg kicked the crap out of him. So I don't know how his leg's doing. It felt like he couldn't really walk on it. Was winning the striking exchanges, without a doubt. Had more power in his hands and things like that. So I do think that'll be a threat against Chase Sherman. Chase Sherman didn't get the fight on the week and a half ago card because his opponent fell off, Josh Parisian. But he does have a win over Jared Vandeer also. So for this one, do I trust Waldo Cortes-Acosta to not be a little gun shy? I think the only reason why he's a little gun shy was because of the leg kicks from Jared Vandeer. So I don't know who to go with this for this one. I think I'm gonna lean Waldo Cortes-Acosta because of the power and things like that. But Chase Sherman goes out there leg kicking, it'll be very understandable, and Cortez will likely lose. So we'll see how that goes. But I am gonna go with Waldo Cortes-Acosta, probably by finish. I'm not too sure about this fight. I'm just going to be honest. Up the card, we have Ion Cutelaba versus Kennedy Nzechukwu. Cutelaba, 16-8, 28 years of age and 75 inches of reach. Oh my gosh, I can never say his name right. Nzechukwu, 10-3, 30 years of age and 83 inches of reach. So we'll have a pretty hefty reach advantage in this matchup, probably 8 inches, I believe. I'm doing my math right. For this one, I think I'm going to go with Kennedy Nzechukwu. It doesn't matter. He has a win over Carl Roberson in his last bout. Lost to Nikolai Ngumiranu. Lost to Dong Zhang. Did beat Carlos Olberg, so that was pretty impressive, but he was getting his ass beat for most of that fight. I'm just going to be honest. For Ion Cutelaba, I just don't think I trust him enough to take him here. I've taken him in his last 2 fights against Ryan Spann and Johnny Walker, and he both got submitted in it. So I'm going to go against him here. Maybe he wins. I do enjoy Ion Cutelaba because he is an entertaining fighter, whether he gets knocked out or choked out, or he does the same to other people, or the little, the face-off scare that he normally does. He should bring that back. I don't know why he doesn't do it anymore. But I do think Kennedy Nzechukwu beats him because I just don't trust Ion Cutelaba. I took him the last 2 times, and he's lost both of those times, so we'll see what happens here, but I do think Kennedy Nzechukwu will finish him. Maybe first, probably second round. TKO maybe. But I do think Kennedy Nzechukwu will take him out of there. I'm not comfortable with the pick, but it is what it is at this point. Up the card, we have Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Spivac. Lewis, 26-10, 37 years of age and 79 inches of reach. Spivac, 15-3, 27 years of age and 78 inches of reach. For this one, this is a very tough fight to predict in general. I think Sergey Spivac has actually looked pretty impressive his last couple of fights. He lost to Tom Aspinall, which is a pretty good loss to have. Went against Alexei Oleinik. Jared Vandeer is what it is with those two. Greg Hardy took him down, basically ground and pounded him out, TKO'd him. Same thing with Augusto Sakai. Augusto Sakai's a big boy, too. He took him down and was able to pin him down and TKO him there with just a hefty amount of punches. For Derrick Lewis, his last 2 losses, Sergey Pavlovich, a big striker, big heavy striker, with a lot of power. Tai Tuivasa, a lot of power with him too. Chris Daukaus is Chris Daukaus. Cyril Gahn, super technical guy. And Curtis Blades, a wrestler with some good power in his hands. So I am going to go with Derrick Lewis. I think I'm going to stay with my early prediction pick with this one. I just think he's going to be able to land that one shot that will hurt Sergey Spivac. So I think Sergey Spivac, for what I need to see in him to pick him in this matchup, he is still pretty young, so he's still going to be improving. But I feel like he needs to get what's the words that I use here? I feel like he needs to make a pretty solid advancement to beat Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis is a big dude. He's like a massive dude. He's not going to be easy to take down at all. I think he's going to probably use trips and things like that. But I don't think Derrick Lewis is going to go down as easily. I think the only guy to really take down Derrick Lewis was, if I'm remembering correctly, maybe Volkov or DC, without a doubt. DC took him down, but Volkov was able to take him down. Like he's not an easy guy to take down without a doubt, and he gets up pretty easily too. Mentally, will Derrick Lewis go out there and do his best to win this fight? I have no idea. Is he just showing up there for the money at this point? Maybe. I think he's trying to look for that first round KO, second round KO, and then if he doesn't get it, he's probably like, I'm done, got my money, things like that. But I just don't think Sergey Spivac's going to be able to, at the point where I think Sergey Spivac will be able to get him on the ground and hold him there and TKO him like he did his last couple fights. I think Derrick Lewis will have plenty of time to knock out Sergey Spivac. Maybe stuff a couple takedowns, and then maybe go for that little uppercut again, or the upper. I don't think he even really hit his head, like an upper slap or like upper wrist and knock out Curtis Blades like he did. Maybe even KO Spivac and things like that. I don't know. Spivac is a big dude himself, but I just think Derrick Lewis will be able to take him out of there. And if Spivac wins this, it'll be very impressive. I'll probably pick him going forward, but I just think this is a very big test for him. Augustus Okai and Greg Hardy, I just think Derrick Lewis is a little bit better than them. Will be able to do a little bit better on the feet than them also. So I am going to go with Derrick Lewis. Doesn't get taken down easily at all. I'll be able to stuff them for at the beginning of the fight. If it goes past like 2 or 3 rounds, probably past 2, maybe 3 rounds, he'll get taken down and the fight will probably finish. So probably over 2.5 for Spivac in this one. But I don't think he takes out Derrick Lewis very quickly. He did get KO'd relatively early in the Sergey Pavlovich fight. So take that what you will, but I just don't think Spivac has the same power as these 2 guys that were able to take him out relatively easily. And Derrick Lewis was able to take all of Tuivasa's shots. Yeah, and even in the Pavlovich fight, he was still kind of getting up. He still wanted to fight. Does he want to prove something here? I saw with the Cyril Gane fight where he got pretty much outclassed that whole fight. He came back and destroyed Christakis. Wanted that KO really badly. Threw his cup in the crowd. I don't know why I said that. But I do think Derrick Lewis does win this fight. But again, if Sergey Spivac wins this one, I'll probably be picking him going forward until probably like the top 3, top 4, top 5. So, yeah, that's how I see this. I think Derrick Lewis lands that punch probably first round, late first round or early second. I think he lands that good punch, KOs Spivac, and that's it. But for Spivac's previous matchups, I kind of want to look through this because I haven't looked at it in a while. Well, not that I haven't looked at it in a while. I haven't looked in depth in a while, but decisions, got KO'd by Walt Harris and things like that. I just think Derrick Lewis has some insane power, and it won't be an easy win for Sergey Spivac at all. And I just think he'll land the shot. I probably said that a few times at this point, but I just think he will. He is 37, so he is getting up there in age. I understand why people are taking Spivac. That's all I'm going to say. I understand it. I think this one's 50-50 in my opinion. But I just lean towards the power of Derrick Lewis because those punches can take out anybody, pretty much. One punch will literally obliterate anybody. So that's what I got for this card. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, Tapology link down below. You just have to register for an account, join the group, and you can make your picks and things like that. See other people's picks after the events are over. It'll track score of your picks also. There's a whole community thing in there too. If I get enough people to join in. I already have like 4 people in, so if you do want to join, you won't be the only one there. Again, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.